Hi everybody, today I'm doing a microneedling demo of my hands. So I'll let you guys start coming on, but that's what I'm doing today. If you have this skincare calendar, you know that I microneedle every single Sunday, a different body part. So this is no makeup on, and this is microneedling 7 days ago. So this is 7 days post microneedling, nothing on my skin. And I do this consistently every 4 to 6 weeks. So today I'm going to show you how do you do your hands with a professional microneedling pen. So that's what we're doing today. At the end of this show, I'm going to post it to my main feed. Usually takes me like 15-20 minutes afterwards. And then you can comment the word microneedling. And when you comment the word microneedling, what it's going to get you, hold on, I got all these different protocols that are for free, but 1 second. It will get you the microneedling protocol. And this shows you how you adjust the microneedling needles depending on what body part you are treating. So I have a whole section here on hands, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. So I do multiple body parts, not at all at one time, but I microneedle consistently every Sunday, a different body part. If you know somebody who is interested in microneedling at home, you're tired of spending the $500, $600, $700 for one microneedling treatment at home, the device is on sale for $199. I've had mine for 10 years. Not this one, but the one before that. I had for 10 years. They last forever. You can do these treatments safely at home if you learn how and save yourself a ton of money while biohacking your skin. And that's what I do and what I teach. So today we're going to be doing hands. On this microneedling guidebook, you'll see forehead, neck, eyes, abdomen, forearms, cheeks, chin, jowls, lips, chest, nose. Hold on, there's more. Because we got more than that, those body parts. Elbows, hands, upper arms, thighs, knees. Those are all the body parts that I microneedle. So today we're going to be doing on hands. And as you notice on hands, there's a lot of anatomy underneath there, a lot of bones, a lot of things that can get in the way, a lot of ways that you can get nicked and stuff. So the hands, we're going to start low at a 0.25. We do a swirling and a stamping technique, 3 passes at a speed of 1. Again, this microneedling guidebook is free. After I post this to my main feed, you just comment that. Okay, for WJM53 said, I hope you don't have any mushroom coffee close by. I don't. For those of you who missed yesterday's live show was the Ultimate Skincare Routine 2026 edition. And early on in that show, I dropped, my makeup mirror fell over. And then what it did was it hit my entire cup, full cup of mushroom coffee mixed with a little bit of cocoa powder from Sunskin. And a little frothed. It wasn't just clean, pure mushroom powder. It was mushroom powder, sun powder for your skin, drinkable sunscreen for your skin in a mocha flavor, mixed with a frothed homemade cashew milk. It was like a coffee crime scene. And I played it off well on camera, but afterwards it took me about an hour to clean up. The coffee mug shattered and it was full and it just sprayed everything all over the walls. The show went on, didn't it? I was like, am I gonna step on glass? But I did manage to push it all in a pile underneath these towels and then dealt with it after the show. Okay, let me just scroll up. Okay, so today, no, I have coffee. I figured that's I have green tea and I figured that's a little bit less dangerous. Okay, today we're doing hands. Why? I had you guys weigh in and there was a lot of people that said, oh, do your abdomen, do the back of your arms, can you do your thighs? But on my schedule, I have hands. There was a lot of people that also asked for hands. So last Sunday, if you look here, is when I microneedled my face. And then that gives you all of the recovery involved with that, how your skincare changes and everything. This week, I'm microneedling my hands. So on this Sunday, it says microneedling hands, gives the post-treatment. I also this morning did radio frequency on my face because it's here. I only radio frequency on Sundays on the days that I'm not microneedling. So today we're gonna do hands. Again, it's in the free microneedling guidebook. You can comment microneedling right afterwards. Okay, start with a little silicone cup. I love these just because you don't wanna get your hands all slippery with hyaluronic acid. When you're trying to pick up a device that has needles in it, right? So keep your hands clean. My hands have just been washed. I used a little bit of an alcohol wipe to wipe them down so I'm not pushing any bacteria in there. Starting with a clean cup, clean little wand. Everything's been sprayed down. Okay, this is the Dr. Penn M8S. This is the one that's on sale. It's normally $2.99. This is on sale for $1.99 with code LIVEYOUNG. It's also going to be in that response when you comment the word microneedling. And Amark, not here. I wish I wish I knew more about the ins and outs of social media, but I don't think when you comment here, microneedling, that it will show up in your DM. I have to post it to my feed first, which usually happens right afterwards. Okay, so I'm gonna coat this. Here is a Dr. Penn M8S sterile tip. This is an 18 pen cartridge. That means there's 18 needles in this. You always, always, always start with a fresh cartridge. So throw that away. To get this in the device, you simply press it down. It locks into place. You turn it clockwise, throw the tip away. Okay, now you have a fresh cartridge of needles. Okay, I'm gonna coat this. I should take off my rings. Hold on one second. This one doesn't come off easily. That's the wedding one. Okay, let's put that over there. Take off my Aura ring. Take off my evil eye ring. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna coat this whole area. Wow, that really left a dent in there. That was on tight. Okay, I'll have to get this all coated. I'm gonna do well, on the actual guidebook, it says a 0.1 to a 0.25. And that's why I like this device better than this brand new one. This is the Dr. Penn M9. You can only do increments of 0.2. Oh, thank God I had another one charged. Yeah, okay. Take this off. This one just died of a battery, and I will get that plugged in and recharged. So I'm gonna put those same sterile needles onto a new one. But I love this because you can dial it as, you know, it's very precise in how you dial it. And so you can go in between those depths. And so this one, you can only dial up, it's digital, you can only dial it up or down by 0.2 millimeters. And sometimes those 0.2 millimeters, that 0.1 millimeter makes a difference when you're talking about doing your bony anatomy around your hands. So I'm gonna start at like a 0.25. Hold on, 1 second here. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. I always have to remember that. Okay. Because we're under a depth of 0.5, remember, anytime that you're below the depth of 0.5 millimeters, you can do a swirling technique, which is what I'm gonna do. So I hope you guys can see my hand here. Let me go like this so I can extend this a little bit more. Ooh, okay. Put your hand flat. I'm literally just doing little swirls. The hyaluronic acid is not doing anything really except for creating a slip. Make sure you get where this elbow bent, where this wrist bends. You see the skin here? We need extra skin there, you guys. If you had no wrinkles on your body, you wouldn't be able to move, right? We need wrinkles. We need to be able to move our heads, move our eyes, move our hands. So these are normal wrinkles that happen with dynamic movement. But we still, if you don't move your hands, then you'll see with age, those wrinkles will stay stagnant. They'll stay etched in there. So can we reverse those a little bit and just soften up that area? Absolutely, we can. I'm just doing a little swirling technique on this big section of the hand. And remember, I'm not going very deep, but your hands have got a lot of nerve endings. I know somebody's going to ask me if I use numbing cream. No, I do not. Even though your hands have a lot of nerve endings, you're not doing your fingertips. And you're not doing it very deep because there's so much anatomy, bones, ligaments, tendons, all that stuff underneath here, that you don't have a lot of fat. There's not a lot of fat. Well, I wish. I've had some fat transfer in my hands before that worked beautifully, but it doesn't stay for long. I think maybe that fat transfer I put in my hands lasted like a couple years. It does make a difference though, right? Because we lose fat in our hands as we age. This is almost 58. So you can tell I microneedle my hands quite often to have a hand that's like this at 58. And how you can tell if your skin is, let's say, healthy, or it's got a lot of collagen in it, or it's got a lot of hydration in it, is if you pinch your hand here and that skin stays up. You know, like when you make a whipped cream and you like want to wait for those mounds to happen, or you're making a meringue and you want those mounds to happen and they stay up there, those peaks. That happens with aged skin. You want that bounce back, right? You want that skin to bounce back. If it's not bouncing back and you're pinching the top, I hope you guys are pinching the top of your hands right now to see where your skin, how your skin health is. But when you pinch the top of your hands, if it stays up there, that is skin that is lacking collagen, it's lacking elastin, it's lacking that bounce back that collagen and elastin bring. This stimulates collagen and elastin. It stimulates your own body to produce that. So that's what we're doing, because we want that healthy skin. It's not only about the way that it looks, right? Everybody wants youthful looking hands, but it's not necessarily about the way that it looks. It's the function of the skin. And when you see older people who always have their hands bleeding, they brush into something with their arm, with the back of their hand, and it starts bleeding. That is unhealthy, fragile skin. What we're doing here is creating resilient skin, thicker skin, skin that is behaving and functioning like it did when it was younger because it's producing its own collagen. That's what we're doing. Okay, you'll see that I'll get like little marks here, little places that will bleed. It's your hands are gonna bleed a lot more than your face because you've got all these bones that you're dealing with, right? When you're dealing with your face, you have big sections where you've got lots of nice fat and anatomy, and underneath their thicker skin with your hands because they're so exposed to the environment and they're constantly moving. The skin is gonna be thinner. And so we're creating functionally healthier skin, we're creating thicker skin, we're creating more resilient skin so that when we grow older, we're not going to be brushing into something and all of a sudden we're starting to scab and bleed. It happens so often. I'm sure you guys, if you guys have parents, you're lucky enough to have parents who are still alive, or you remember your grandparents, it's more common than it is not to have fragile skin, especially from the fingertips to the elbows. Why? Because this is the most exposed skin that we have on our entire body. We oftentimes will protect our face, a hat, sun visors, things like that. But our arms are oftentimes, we wash our hands a lot, are often the most exposed, have the most exposed sun exposure to them. I missed a question back here. Oh, Joanna, oh my God, Joanna M here. I did my face and neck yesterday. I love that. I love that. Joanna, I tend to separate those. And the reason is because face and neck, that's not bad. But if you were to do face, neck, and chest, that's a very large area and it could trigger like a systemic kind of inflammatory response. And your body could perceive it as stress. So that's why with this calendar, I really break them down and separate them because I don't want my body to perceive like, oh my God, I'm in a crisis situation. I'm not in a crisis situation. Very controlled, very little depth. But that said, when you do multiple body parts at one time, I had a client who got over the fear and realized it didn't hurt that much and did her face, her neck, her chest, her hands, the top of her thighs and her abdomen in the same day. And that is like, you are miserable because your body is also perceiving this as a stressful situation. Manda _Tang said, I have a couple existing acne spots on my face. Can I still do a treatment? Absolutely. And in fact, Manda, this is a great point. Microneedling not only helps with acne scars and with preventing acne from reoccurring, it actually helps with active acne. Don't stay away from your pimples at first, right? Do your entire face, avoiding where those breakouts are. At the very end, what I would do is I would change the cartridge. And the cartridges are not very expensive, you guys, and it's so much better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to microneedle active acne and then bring that, whatever is inside that acne, which is bacteria and a bunch of stuff, all over your face. So you have to do these in 2 separate steps. You can microneedle your whole face, avoiding the acne, and then come back over the top of it and spot treat that acne, because it will diminish the length of time that acne is going to be on your face. So it will reduce your acne with time. It's kind of like if you went to a dermatologist and they do that, they puncture it and they squeeze it and all of that. Microneedling is like, it's kind of getting in there and it's still causing your body to come to heal. So absolutely, you can do it on active acne. You just don't want to take that stuff from that acne and spread it all over your face. So I would do your face, avoid the acne, change the cartridge, and spot treat the acne. I hope that makes sense. What about the legs? It is a large area too. It is. I do the legs separately. So I will oftentimes do the knees area first, like from the kneecap to the mid thigh. Now, if I wanted to, or even like kneecap to like here, because you're doing 2 of them, right? So that's like, think about like the area that you're covering with your face versus the area that you're covering with 2 legs. So don't do back of your leg, your butt, like don't do this whole section. Don't do this. Don't do from your knee to here, right? Don't do that. You can do from your knee to like mid thigh on both legs. And then on another day, you can come back and do the back of your legs and your butt or things like that. Does that make sense? Because too large of an area to microneedle will cause your body to stress out, and that's what we don't want. Okay, hold on. Let this kind of soak in for a second. I hope that answered the question. I cannot believe I dropped that mushroom coffee. I cannot believe that happened yesterday. I went back over the video to try to see, and you guys didn't get to see a lot, but man, if my camera wasn't in a holder, I would have turned it around and you guys would have been like, oh my, it was like a crime scene. It was everywhere. Okay, a little bit more drink and then I'll keep going. Good. Okay, amazing. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more of this hyaluronic acid. Now, when it comes to the actual fingers, and you'll see, I'm going to do this whole treatment one more time. I'm still at like a 0.25. I am. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to go up a tiny bit. I'm going to stay at a 0.25. I'm at a 0.25. Okay. We'll do a little bit more of this swirling, and then I'll show you how to do the actual fingers. And we'll move on to the other hand. I can also, you guys, while I'm doing this, if you have any questions about yesterday's very intense, very encompassing, all-encompassing ultimate skincare routine for 2026, you can ask them here. I know it was like a lot of information, and that's why during the Live Young Method course, for those of you who are in my course right now, that's why I take a week to teach about skincare. We spend a whole week. We're on Zoom every single day, so it's literally like 7+ hours I coach on skincare in the Live Young Method. 7+ hours. And I tried to do it for you guys in like an hour and a half. So I know it's intense. I know there must be some questions. Let me know. WJM53 says, I'm going to start by buying the One Skin Yes, that is a good place to start. And I actually get you a discount on that. If you look at that, if you look in that ultimate skincare routine, I get you a discount on that because they did it. What did they give it? I don't think that they sponsored the Live Young Retreat, but I'm not sure. I think I have an affiliate link with them or something. I love it. I'm on it all. Like that is like my thing. I use the body lotion and that One Skin OS01 peptide. Great to clear the way for those other peptides to come in. Joanna M here says, I will do the whole protocol. You really look amazing. Oh, that's so sweet. It's consistency, you guys. It's consistency. Now listen, I film everything that I've done. my Botox is worn out, okay? But I film everything up right when this course ends. I'm running to the dermatologist to get Botox because Botox is preventative. Not everything is done at home. I want to be very clear about that, right? We do talk about surgical options. We do talk about in-office things. We talk about injectable peptides, but there is so much that can be done with consistent topical skincare at home. If you're consistent and strategic about it, you know what you're doing, you know how to layer them, you will see your skin drastically change. But I have to tell you, most people, when I start working with them one-on-one on skincare, get the basics wrong because there's so many products on the market right now that give you all these promises, right? Promise this, no more wrinkles, no more, like even those films that they put like all of a sudden, like in 30 seconds, you have no eye bag. That is a temporary solution. It does absolutely nothing for your skin. Not in the long run, does nothing, absolutely nothing. But I get so many clients who come to me for skincare and they're like, I'm so obsessed with skincare. And we go through their skincare drawer and there is like not one active treatment product there. I have so many people like, I'm so obsessed with skincare, not one retinoid in their whole arsenal. So that's why I know it was a long show, but we start with the basics first so that you can understand then what do you do when other stuff comes in. Karen says, can you talk about your hands? This is where I show my age the most. I need help with that the most. Yeah. There's lots of things that you can do in office for your hands. Like actually they can put Sculptra in your hands, which is a collagen generator. But if you don't want to do in-office treatments, it's all about consistency at home. One of the things at home, anything that you do for your skin goes on the back of your hands. You'll see me, I'll never wash my hands when I'm doing my skincare. When you're doing your skincare, whatever is on your skin goes in the same layers on your hands. Whenever you're in a car, I've got sun gloves. I mean, I know it looks ridiculous. I feel it's like a 1920s Hollywood movie star. I've got like the gloves up to here driving, but that's what helps. Like it's not only the treatment stuff, but it's preventative as well. You got to do preventative stuff as well. So in terms of like the same thing that goes on your skin goes everywhere on your body. Are you doing retinoids on the back of your hands? Are you doing vitamin C on the back of your hands? Are you doing peptides on the back of your hands? Super important. Are you microneedling your hands? All of this stuff biohacks the skin on your hands. Okay. So when I'm doing the actual fingers, where are you based out of? I live in Los Angeles. I'm in Studio City, actually, which is in Los Angeles. Yeah, I've been in Los Angeles since I was 22. Moved here when I was 22. I'm 58, almost 58 now. I'll be 58 in a couple weeks, you guys. But I moved here when I was 22, and within a couple years, moved to Asia for 6 years. So I actually lived in Singapore for 6 years, lived in Shanghai in 1994 and for 6 months, kind of during that transition of like Singapore. Yeah, and then moved back here in 2000 to have my third daughter. So I've got 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. My oldest is 30, my boy is 28, and my youngest is 25. But yeah, so I've been in LA for most of my life now. My whole family still lives within an hour drive of the small farm where I grew up in the Central Valley of California. We don't have that farm anymore, but my mom lives in the middle of 20 acres of grapevines. My siblings, I have 4 siblings, all live within an hour drive of my mom. So I was kind of the black sheep of the family. Okay. I'll just keep going. Me too. Oh, Joseph, me too. 2 girls and a boy. Yeah. My boy is like the easiest thing in the world. My God. He is so easy. The girls, they're a little bit more difficult, I would say. My mom Amanda says Fresno. My mom lives in Fresno. I grew up in Merced, which is about an hour drive from Fresno. But my siblings all live in that area in the Central Valley where all the farmland is. Okay. When I'm doing my fingers, you guys, you notice that my hands are very straight. So Karen, you can get this pin when I post this to my main feed, comment the word microneedling. You'll not only get a link to the microneedling protocol, which I think you have to put in your email. Guys, I don't sell your email. I don't do any of that stuff. I can't even believe people do that. It's like, what? But I don't do that. And I literally will send you one newsletter a week that is a recap of these live shows. That's what it is. But it will also give you the pen link, which is on sale now for $100 off with the code LiveYoung. So in that auto response, once you comment, check your DM, you should have a pen link. It's also available on the website, liveyounglifestyle.com. You will not see the discount code there, but just know if you use the code, 2 words, LiveYoung, it will take $100 off the device. And it is an authentic Dr. Pen microneedling device. Okay, so you can see when I'm doing my fingers, I'm literally keeping this straight. Why? It's the same thing that we talked about with doing the tip of your nose. If I bent this finger and put this on top, I'm no longer at a 0.25 millimeter. I'm at a lot deeper than that because my anatomy has gone into the device. Let me turn this off just so I can show you. My anatomy has gone into the device. So when those needles come down, it's gonna hurt like heck, and it's gonna be a lot deeper than what I have this dialed to, if that makes sense. So keep your fingers flat, and you can either stamp or you can do like that lawnmower technique, because remember, we're at a very shallow depth right now. Get all sides, 3 sides, not the 4th. 1, 2, 3 sides. This is you don't need it on your finger pads, anybody. This is just on the skin that is going to show the aging that is exposed. Okay, so that's that. Go on the next one. Keep it very straight. Now, if you wanted to go deeper here, you could, but you don't really need to, because the skin, get in between there too, because the skin is very thin. It doesn't take a lot. You don't need to be bloodied up like you just got into a major fight when you're doing microneedling. Little tiny nicks that show blood, that's normal. I saw the other day on social media, like somebody doing microneedling on their face, and there was literally like big patches of blood. And I thought, like, that's gonna do more harm than good. I do my hands every 4 to 6 weeks. So if you look on the calendar, I have hands scheduled once a month. But there are times when, if I feel like, oh, I can go a couple more weeks on my face, or I want to put in a few more body parts before that, or I've got like something huge that I really don't want to microneedle right before a giant event, like this is 7 days. 7 days post microneedling, nothing on my face. 7 days post microneedling, if you're a speed healer like I am, like you're doing the collagen, you're doing the mask, the recovery mask in those blue, cyan, violet, and then you're hitting it with red and near infrared and green. If you're doing this consistently, the sweet spot of microneedling is 7 days. If you're not doing it consistently and you're not doing the healing protocol, the speed healing protocol, the sweet spot of microneedling is 2 weeks. So it makes a big difference. LED light makes a huge difference. Taking collagen makes a huge difference. Collagen generators like my Live Young Hair, Skin, and Nails make a huge difference in terms of speed healing the area. Okay, we're getting close here. I'm going to do this little pinky area, and then we'll move on to the next hand and see. So you can kind of see, this is, when you look here, you can see the places that have not been reactive yet. I could go, and especially in between here, I could go in between there. Karen says, what's the difference between microneedling at home versus microneedling in the office? About $700. Sorry, Karen. A typical microneedling treatment in office, as of about a year ago, those prices have probably gone up. You know they have, is about $500 a session. The device itself, on sale now for $199. I know of, that is basically the difference. When you're doing in office, I mean, if somebody did your hands in office, they're not going to go deeper than what I'm doing. You got bones under there. If somebody does your face in office, would they go deeper than what I showed you last week? Maybe, but I went up to a 1.5 on my cheeks and I went to a 1.5 on my chin. My forehead, I stayed at a 0.5 millimeter. Around my eyes, I did a 0.25, up to like a 0.5 on there. Remember, I took that skin and lifted that up. Chin, cheeks, and jowls, that was like at a 1 to a 1.5. You're going to get about that same depth. They might go up to a 2 in office, which is going to have your healing. It's going to be a little bit longer to heal. But like I said, when I did that tutorial on the full face, I know of a Zeo Skin Health clinic in Florida that's all they do. Bring people in, do their full face at a 0.5, which is the same, if not lesser of a depth than what I showed you last week. And they are charging $500 per session. Come back next month, come back next month, come back next month. So think about that. That's a lot of money to be spending a year on microneedling when you can do it yourself at home. Okay, I'm gonna get this last little finger here. Sometimes in office, they'll put things like PRP in there. They'll take your blood, they'll spin it in a centrifuge and put that PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma, in there. Platelet-rich plasma does little in terms of biohacking the skin. It doesn't work like a peptide. It works more like supplements for your skin because it's your own body and they're taking out that platelet-rich plasma and injecting it or microneedling it into your skin, and that helps to speed the healing. It doesn't give you a better result, but it helps to speed the healing. So Karen says, especially when you can use that money for Botox, filler, etc. I'm not a big filler person, but Botox, yes, laser, like anything like that, yeah. Or use it for the trip to South Korea with me, Karen. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the other hand. Let me see if there was any, let me get in. It's really hard to get in between these fingers, you guys, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, I hope you guys can see. Let's see. Got a little white spot here, so I can come back over and do that again. Now with the hands, I don't do that whole just keep applying. I will normally, I'll do that for a little bit and I'll just stick straight Aquaphor over the top of it because the hands will get super dry. And I know that you're going to be washing your hands. Try to avoid washing your hands for a little bit. And when you do wash your hands throughout the day, fingertips, right? Or if you really have to disinfect your hands, like have these little alcohol things. You don't want to be going in there and using like a scented soap or something and scrubbing your hands. You want to treat it with the same kind of post-recovery that you're doing with your face, although I don't wait so long to do the Aquaphor because the Aquaphor will at least also help as a barrier to where when you do wash your hands, you're not, you know, all the stuff that's in our water, which is disgusting, is not getting into any of those open channels. And the channels close up pretty quickly, you guys, they really do. But still, you've got open little traumas here. You don't want to, okay, there we go. That's the end of that. You see how I'm not bloody or bleeding. I mean, there's a few nicks, but not bad. So I'm going to recoat this. I'll recoat it with a little hyaluronic. Now I will take my mask and drape my mask over my hands to heal. Absolutely. Okay, putting a little bit more of that, and then I will just mist this so it doesn't get dry. I'm not going to put the Aquaphor on until I do this other hand because I'm going to be trying to hold this with this very slippery hand, which I don't want to do. Okay, a little bit more hyaluronic in here. Moving on to hand number 2. It's going to take me a tiny bit more time to post this to the main feed, maybe just 15 minutes instead of my normal 5 to 10, because I don't have a thumbnail and because I have to write the caption still. I just kind of came a little bit unprepared today. Okay. So just wait for about 15 minutes after this show. I'll post it to my main feed. You can comment the word microneedling. It will get you the absolutely free microneedling guidebook that shows you exactly how I do this at home. There are clickable links in here as well, you guys. Clickable links for like the little silicone cup that I use. Clickable links for the hyaluronic acid that I use. Clickable links for the replacement cartridges, as well as the actual Dr. Pen M8S that I use. So all of that is in this downloadable document when you comment the word microneedling after the show, okay? Karen says, what serums are you using? I assume I purchased this along with the pen. Sorry for all the questions. Don't ever be sorry for questions. That's why I'm here. I like this, and it's in this guidebook, clickable. I like the Costa Baja. I have no affiliation with them at all, zero. But I've been using it for years. Why? Because it's in a pump, so you're not having to unscrew. I wish I had like a serum here I could show you, but I don't. You're not having to unscrew a cap to use a dropper. Every time you unscrew something, you're inviting other things into the bottle, all right? Which when we're microneedling, we don't want other things in the bottle. We want like pure hyaluronic acid. So I like this because you can get it in a big container. So it's very easy to pump this in here, but also it's airtight. So you're not getting anything inside of it. There's no scent, there's no nothing. I know that the Ordinary also makes a great one. I know that Timeless makes a great one, but I like this because of the pump and because of the size of it. Okay. Let's see, go into the next hand. All right, how am I doing on time? Oh, I'm good. I got 15 minutes. I can get this done. All right, I'm back on. I'm still at a 0.25. You can see, now that you, look, you can see which one I've done. You can see this is the goal. Not the bloody oozing thing. This is the goal. This right now, I can feel working. What I mean by feel working is it slightly feels tight. It slightly feels a tiny bit, and I mean tiny bit stingy, tiny bit stingy. And that I know is signaling my body to come to the rescue and heal this. And when it heals it with slightly thicker skin, slightly more collagen in it, slightly more elastin production in it, right? Slightly less wrinkles, all of it. Slightly more even skin tone, all of it. So does it help with sunspots on the hands? Yeah. What size needle cartridge do you use in your hands? I like an 18 pen cartridge. This is an 18 pen cartridge. I like it because it's good for all body parts. I don't like the nanos or the ones where the needles are very tightly dense together because it's not giving you a good treatment. I kind of equate that to laying on a bed of nails. You can lay on a bed of nails if they're really tightly bound together, but when you delete some of those nails and you spread it out a little bit, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, that's going through. So when you're doing things like a nano or like a 3642 needle, you're really just pushing the product. It's bouncing off the skin and you're pushing the product in more, which I think is bullshit. I want the ones that are like going to penetrate the skin, going to give me an overall good result. And that to me is like a 12, 14, 16, 18, even like a 21 needle, depending on your model. But it's in that range. It's in that 12 to 21 range, and 18, 16, 18, that's my sweet spot. I love it because you don't have to get like a multitude of a different type of needle cartridges. 18 pin, 16 pin. These are great for face, hands, full body. Hope that makes sense. Okay, keep going. I need to get a little bit more slip on this. The hyaluronic acid, like I said, because we're under 0.5 millimeter, is just helping this device to move smoothly over the skin so it's not tugging. I'm doing that same hand. Oh my God. I'm like, why does that hurt so bad? Because it's done. Okay, we're moving to the other one. Sorry. Okay, let me see if I can get this. Can you guys, let me know if you guys can't see my hand, but it looks like you can see it. Okay, so hand is flat, little swirls. I'm at a 0.25. What I noticed with the aging of my hands as well is that, and I don't know if you guys noticed this as well, but it's not just like the veins and the bones become more apparent as our fat diminishes underneath the skin, which happens. That's what happens with age. So your anatomy becomes more apparent underneath there. But I also noticed, and this is going to sound weird, but I'm going to say it anyways, my pore size on my hands has become more noticeable. Does that make sense? Does anybody see the same thing in their hands? Like, I'm like, did I have those little like not holes, but you know, like you could see when, and you can only do it when I can only see it when my hand's like this. And I'm like, oh, interesting. And so that is one of the things as well. Even with our face, we get enlarged pores with age around the nose, around this area, and even around the chin and mouth. Katie says, do you use the same pen for the upper arms? I do. I also, though, Katie, that's a great question. There are times when I will do a combination. In fact, you know what? Hold on one second. Let me spray this down with alcohol. You guys, having an alcohol, a 99% alcohol bottle, I've got a couple of them, is something that you absolutely need if you're microneedling at home. You absolutely need it. It's like, I can't tell you how often I use an alcohol spray bottle. And this is just a plastic bottle I got off of Amazon, put a little label on there, filled it with 99% alcohol. Why? Because that 94%, why are we playing around here, right? Get the 99% alcohol, spray your device down. I want to show you, Katie, that you can also, let me let this dry a little bit. And I've got the bigger ones too for the body. If for some reason you're in a hurry, I'd rather you be consistent to a lesser degree than to not do it at all. So for example, if for some reason I've got like my Sunday is like packed, I'm like, I don't know if I can spend the hour plus it would take me to microneedle my abdomen with this size needle, right? Think about if you're going from here to here and you're doing your entire, now I do it. I'm not saying I do it. But there are instances where it's like, if I'm traveling or whatever, I'm like, do I really want to bring a roller? And I'll show you how you can do it on your hand. I'll do one swipe of the roller on my hand, and then I'll go back over the top of it and finish with this. But I want to just show you, you could do this entirely with a roller on any body part. It's not going to give you as good of a treatment. It doesn't take the place of a professional pen, but it is something that I do. I oftentimes will intermix these depending on time, on my allotted time. Okay, here's a roller. It's disinfected. Hand goes down. You have to do it in 4 different directions. Okay, so it's not like you just willy-nilly, let's just paint it like you paint a room. No. Because the needles, you want to try to get as close to this kind of result as you can. And it's not close, but it's at least you can see it in the rear view. Oh, it's not bad. So what I would do is start in one direction. Let's say we're going to do horizontally first, right? So horizontally, you pick it up in between each one. Start from the very corner of your wrist and go all the way over, pressing down slightly, pick it up. Don't go like that. Pick it up each time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's with the meat of the hand. Now I go vertically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't do my fingers yet. But you'll see I'm just moving it around, right? 1, 2, like you're painting it, but you're painting it strategically in certain directions. Now you do diagonally. I know, but you do diagonally for 5. And the next level. And then once I do this, you do diagonally the other direction. Kind of hard to do with your left hand, but we're getting it. After that, and you can see, that gave me something. Does it look exactly the same as that? No, it doesn't, because it's a little bit more difficult to do and it's not going to give you the same puncture wounds. But is this doing something? Absolutely it is. I can feel it working. I can feel it. And it is calling on my body to produce collagen and elastin for that. You can do the same thing for your little fingers out here. So 1, 2, 4, 5, you would do the same thing. Let's see how I'm doing on time. I have 10 minutes. So that's how you would use a roller. And you could use a roller for multiple body parts. Now you can see it's not going to give you the same result as you would for microneedling, but in a pinch, it's still doing something. Okay, and now I'm going to go in there and get these places that the roller didn't get. Just flowing some hyaluronic acid on me. Okay, hold on, let me take a drink here. Going back in. And I'm going to do this swirling technique because I'm under a 0.5. So get all of this. And then what I'll usually do is I'll coat this with hyaluronic acid, spray a little water on it, wait for not long, 5 minutes maybe at the most, and then I'll put that Aquaphor on. And then I'm just very, very aware when I'm washing my hands, and you'll feel it too because it'll sting. So you want to make sure you're not using like a scented soap or anything like that. And if you can, if you don't need to wash your hands, just use a little alcohol wipes on your fingertips. Okay. I'm going to go up to a higher speed, because all a higher speed is doing, it's not going deeper. It's more punctual. It's just quicker, right? So you can reduce your treatment time by a little bit by putting the speed up. You get these vertical lines here, or horizontal lines here, sorry. Wrong direction. When your device gets all cloggy and weird, you can start to hear it make these sounds, right? That is hyaluronic acid that is gunked in there. Do not try to clean it. Don't try to clean it. Don't try to wash it. Don't try to spray it with alcohol. Leave it alone. It's not doing anything. This comes off at the end and you throw it away. And I guarantee you those needles are cutting through that hyaluronic acid like it's nothing. So don't leave it alone, okay? To use Aquaphor as treatment after microneedling, yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I've got my Aquaphor here. As soon as I get done treatment. Now listen, if when I coach one-on-one clients, I will oftentimes, not oftentimes, but sometimes, if they've gotten used to this device and they have the basics down and they know what the safety is and they're doing the post-treatment protocol and they've got it all down, that's when we can maybe think about microneedling some peptides into our hands. We can think about maybe microneedling some exosomes into our hands, right? Things that are airtight, things that are not going to add fragrance and those kind of things, but things that can actually boost the results. Those come after you've already mastered this, because you don't know what kind of reaction you're going to have. You don't know the pain yet. You don't know let's get it to where you have a few treatments first, and then we can start talking about other things that you can microneedle in your hands. Okay. Need a little bit more hyaluronic. How am I doing on time? I'm trying to get off of here right on time today. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's burning a little bit, right? It'd be weird if it wasn't burning a little bit. But you see, I want to get in between where I lacked it, where I missed it with the roller. Let me know if you guys can still see that. Now, if I was at a depth that was over a 1.5, that's where you want to do the stamping, right? That's where you want to do that stamping technique. But because we're under that, we can do a rolling or a lawnmower. We can swirl it around as long as we have that glide on there that's not going to be tugging the skin. And it just allows the device to seamlessly kind of glide over the top of it. And then I'll come back and treat this in every 4 to 6 weeks. It's the consistency, everybody. Like, if you just did this once, yeah, you're going to stimulate collagen and production. If you want to have the hands that when you're 90 years old, you're not brushing up against something and they're bleeding, you gotta be consistent with it. One treatment that you had in 2026 is not going to save your hands when you're 90, okay? You gotta be consistent with it. So that's what we do. Oh my God, I just realized I see somebody in here that I know. Okay. So it's consistency more than like, how crazy of a treatment can I get? How deep can I go? How crazy can I get? No, it's strategic and it's consistent. And that's where that calendar comes in. Wow, I just like, when I looked up, I'm like, ooh, I need Botox. When I coached the skin, we just finished the skincare week for the Live Young Method course. I spent 7 full days, over an hour each, coaching on skincare for that week. And that's why it's like when I coached that yesterday, that ultimate skincare routine, I thought, holy cow, how am I going to do this in this limited amount of time? And we went long, but I'm going to try to see if I can design a way to coach that's a lot more easier to understand without having to go through so much time. So I have to come up with the shorthand version of that. There are some cheat sheets on that ultimate skincare routine, sheets that you could print out that give you all of the, all the steps. Wash, treat, protect, but also how do you introduce peptides into that without breaking those peptide bonds and making them ineffective. So there's lots of things that were in that live show. So if you missed that live show on the ultimate skincare routine, it's on my feed. Go back and watch it. You know what else we're also in the middle of, you guys? I didn't tell you. We're in the middle of a microneedling series that is being posted on Instagram right now. So far, there's been 5 videos. It takes you step by step. When I do a live like this, you're looking at like an hour, right? We're here for an hour. I coach you how to do it. I think that there are some people I lose because like, who wants to sit here for an hour? Some people can't, they don't want to. So instead, or in addition, what I'm doing right now on Instagram is that every single day on Instagram, there is a new microneedling video posted that takes you step by step of like, let's unbox our device. Because you know how many people I know have this device and it's collecting dust because they're afraid to get it out and use it. So I'm like, let's get it out of the box. Let's start there. And then we go through the safety and we go through all the different materials that you need to be able to microneedle at home safely. And that is right now in Instagram as a series that's going to continue to post. I think we have 20 of them and we've posted 5 so far. So we're going to get you all those questions that seem to be coming up are being answered as you speak, as I speak. On Instagram right now with this microneedling series that's going to be happening over the next, I want to say it's got to take another week and a half, 2 weeks before they're all posted. So if you look at my feed, you'll see microneedling, all these microneedling little steps to do. And then there'll be the ultimate skincare live. And then there'll be the microneedling your hands live. But then there'll also be all these little steps again. So it's going to continue until we get those all, till I get those all posted. But it's a breakdown of, okay, where do we start? Okay. Now you can still see this one had a better treatment. Let me see if I can get in here somehow. Let me do it this way. We're so close to done. So close. Sometimes you have to like do it and then sit back and see, okay, where is it that I missed? You guys would be shocked. I know you see the reaction in my skin, but you'd be shocked at how you get used to it and how much it doesn't hurt as bad as what you would think. Because again, we're very, very shallow here. We're 1/4 of a millimeter deep. That is very, very shallow. Very shallow still makes a difference, doesn't it? It does. Okay. I'm gonna call that a day. Sometimes people's skin reacts differently. I have very reactive skin, meaning that when I microneedle, it turns red pretty quickly and I can see where I'm missing, where I've gotten a little deeper than other places. Some people, especially if you have olive skin, you don't see that, which is why it's important to not just keep going over and over and over again. If you don't have reactive skin like mine that turns pink, you color it in as best you can, and then you just don't keep going and going and going. And this is why I don't use numbing cream as well, you guys, because numbing cream will oftentimes take that skin's reactiveness and diminish it. So it just blanches it and it's like white. So you can't really see the reaction that your skin is doing to the microneedling tool. I hope that makes sense. That's one of the reasons why I don't like using numbing cream. It changes the skin color and you can't see if you've gotten a good result. But also it's another step. You got to wash it off. You got to sterilize your skin again after that. And it doesn't hurt as much as you guys think. This comes off, goes in the garbage. So I will coat this one more time, and then I'm going to put the Aquaphor right over the top of it. So I did that. Hyaluronic acid is a bit of a humectant. It will take water from your skin, from the air, and kind of group it together, like accumulate. Ooh, that feels good. Yeah, so this is just hyaluronic acid mixed with a little bit of spring water. That's it. And then I will coat the whole thing with Aquaphor. I'll let this dry a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, is there anything else? No. Okay, so next week, what am I doing next week? I'll figure it out. I don't know what I'm coaching next week, but we'll be live on Saturday with something, and then Sunday we'll pick a different body part and microneedle. So I'm gonna be microneedling every Sunday on Instagram Live for a little bit of time until I at least go through this calendar. Otherwise, we'll just be on our Saturday regularly scheduled broadcast. That's a little bit of Aquaphor that I just spread in there. Okay. That's it. That's microneedling your hands. That's all I got. Okay, you guys. Hope that helped. When I post this to my main feed, comment the word microneedling. Check your DMs. You'll get a discount on that pen. You'll also get the whole microneedling guidebook. And if you missed yesterday's show on the Ultimate Skincare Protocol, make sure, oh, it's here. The Ultimate Skincare Routine 2026 edition. Go back on my feed and check that out. It was like a lot of information. You can also comment skincare. It will get you this. It will also get you a link to the calendar as well when you comment skincare. Okay, that's all I have, everybody. I'll see you guys next Saturday at 12 o'clock. Have a great rest of your day. Wait, WJM, so you'll be using your mask later on your hands? Yes, I will. When you do microneedling, thank you for catching that, WJM. When you do microneedling, it's such a surface trauma, right? We're not talking about 8 millimeters deep here. We're talking about a quarter, maybe a half a millimeter deep. That is superficial trauma. The best wavelengths for that are blue. I'll get to them. Hold on. Blue, violet, and I just passed it, and cyan. And those are more of the superficial layers of the skin. And so what those three wavelengths do is it kills the bacteria. All three of those, blue, cyan, and violet, kill superficial bacteria. So we just did this to our hands. We want to make sure we're not having any bacteria. Do those three wavelengths, and then tomorrow is when you start the red, near infrared. If you've got sunspots on your hands, you'd also do green. But this is a multi-spectrum mask for under $200, FDA cleared and medical grade. That's the Live Young brand. Okay, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Hi, Christine. Good night good evening from Germany or to Germany. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Bye.